Nerd Corker, rise up. It could get elevated. Nerd Corker, rise up. It could get elevated.
Nerd Corker, oh my God, I love the way you clone. Take your blasters, my dear, and place them both in mine. Ooh! You know you stopped me dead when I was passing by. And now I beg to see you clone just one more time. Ooh.
Did you just like resurrect one of our old songs? Like bring it back from the dead?
Hold on, let me check.
Maybe.
Huh?
I feel like we've heard that before. Like I thought we buried that one.
Yeah, but sometimes they come back.
Oh,
Oh,
it's like that was set up for something that we're talking about tonight.
what are we talking about tonight, Kyle?
Well, let's tell them who we are first, and then
Welcome to Every Man's Guide to Nerddom, where we are two 30 to 40 something year olds to talk about pretty much whatever we want. I'm Chris.
and I'm Kyle, and it looks like we have a small special.
We
guest.
have a guest yet. Let me
What's
get the
going on?
small guest away.
You can also find us live and in person on the Twitch. Typically every Saturday night, me and Chris play together. You can find him on Twitch under Guyver Unit 01. It's GUYVERUNT 01. And you can find me as KSIG, K_SIG. The small human does not have an account, so she will not be streaming.
It's so hard to get mad at them and try and be serious when they're so cute. You're just,
if you guys are just listening, you won't know what happened, but you know, for you brave souls that watch us on YouTube, you would have seen it. Just that little peek in the corner.
I had the smallest one of the
smallest of the Guyver clan.
At the Guyver clan, right behind me, she had a little paper towel holder and was pretending it was a horn.
Oh, that's cute.
Just smiling away.
So what are we talking about tonight?
Hold on.
Oh, you get the okay. Ah, yeah.
That just sounds like I'm pooping. It's supposed to be zombies.
The intestinal issues that you have as you get older. That's what we're talking about.
Welcome to Intestinal Issues with Chris and Kyle.
Mm-hmm. Tonight, we'll be featuring "Blowing in the Wind," played by.
We also will discuss the merits of the golden turd.
Mm-hmm.
Are you hourly and do you poop at work?
Yeah. Stay tuned for our irregularly scheduled podcast.
I'm
out on that one.
Andy's out. That was a good one.
Thank you.
No, tonight we're talking about zombies. Everything we can about zombies. I'm sure some of you might know more than we do about zombies. That's cool.
You do.
Yeah, just come in and let us know.
I'd love zombies. Personally, I love zombies in a very platonic way. Clarify.
Even if it wasn't a platonic, Kyle would still love the zombies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Would that be a dead
Zombies
rocket?
are people too.
Zombies are people too, just dead and smelly and decaying. Again,
Port in a storm. So, yeah,
it's a necrotic rocket.
We're continuing our spooky October series.
Spooktober.
Ooh. We've done a ghost hunting episode with a husband and wife paranormal investigation team. You guys go back and check that out.
Yep,
it's in the playlist. We have done. What else did we do? Scary video games.
Scary video games.
That was a fun one. I don't think we even made it through the first. We didn't hardly touch anything in the last 20 years either.
No, we
talked for like an hour and fucking half, and we didn't get all of it.
No, we just got through basically the 80s.
We got to Resident Evil, so we hit some stuff in the 90s, and we'll hit some of that tonight too. Today, whenever you guys are listening or watching.
Just accept it.
Yeah. Take it. We did Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
Mm-hmm.
He's French.
He is. So yeah, we've done Tim Burton, we've done History of Scary Games, we did the Paranormal Investigation one, and now we're doing zombies, which we just released our What If Zombies episode 2, didn't we?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, lots of zombies this month,
Lots and lots of zombies.
and I didn't even put the What If Zombies on the list.
Oh well, here, hold on. Let me change my background.
I guess I could have used that.
There we
That
go.
still works. Yeah. So yeah, we're
My
gonna
eyes.
talk about zombies. They're different. There's a, I want to almost say like a subculture of zombie fanatics for years, and then it's just been within the last 10-ish that
It's gotten huge.
become huge. Thanks, Kirkman.
Huge.
You know, they're more socially acceptable to like. Just like with, well, I mean, with anything, we've talked about this with the nerddom fandom stuff, with the MCU bringing things to the forefront of
Right.
things, making things, you know, more socially acceptable to like these things.
Yeah.
And I think zombies fell into that with The Walking Dead in the last several years.
I'd agree. And Walking Dead was around well before the TV show.
Mm-hmm. And zombies way before that.
A little bit.
Little bit.
You
know, at least in, cinema and such, a little bit longer than the last 10 years. We're not too far away from 90 years of zombies in cinema.
Isn't that nuts?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that just absolutely nuts? Who would have thought?
Probably.
Like, what was I watching? I was on, I forget what streaming service it was, but they just put a movie on. It might have been Netflix from like 1901 about the devil and stuff. And so I wonder if there was any early zombie stuff for that.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
We got,
Maybe I should have researched that.
I mean, you could have.
I could have, but I didn't.
I don't want it. I wish I would have got it. Anyway, I just realized, like, I keep my Funkos on the desk beside me. I try to rotate those out every week whenever I'm streaming. And I keep forgetting to get the big ass zombie Funkos.
I don't think I got any zombie Funkos. I barely have any Funkos to begin with.
You just collect the pictures of the ones that I find and send to you.
Yeah, pretty much. They're
Nice,
hanging
good
up.
ones. So we'll kind of dive into the history of zombies a little bit. There's some kind of coming from different directions here, but the what seems to be the agreed upon origin is from Haiti, Haitian folklore about reanimated corpses, which then your original Haitian zombies were magic or voodoo. They were brought back to life.
Black magic.
By either a shaman or through magic and voodoo.
Witch doctor, priestess.
That doctor. Probably that doctor over there if you have to ask.
Yes.
It's like werewolf,
Werewolf.
And so that, you still hear about that. You'll see that in just like random Facebook videos and shit. Like, Haitian voodoo priest reanimates loved one for whatever.
For whatever.
I probably should have
Taco Tuesdays.
finished that thought out. No, I'm just gonna leave it ambiguous. Leave it open at the end. You guys.
Hey, Chris, why'd you resurrect Kyle? I wanted someone to eat with on Taco Tuesday.
Hmm.
What about the rest of the week?
I don't
Taco
know.
Tuesday.
It's Taco Tuesday, man.
Kyle's on his own.
Yeah.
What's wrong, Kyle? Too much taco spice.
Which is actually the same noise that non-zombie Kyle would make after too much taco.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The English variation, or the English word zombie, ZOMBIE, was first recorded zombie in like in
1890.
literature by this poet by the name of Robert Southey, Southey, Southy, Southay, in 1819. In A History of Brazil, it was spelled zombie. There's Zombi. We'll see that spelling come up again later.
Yep.
But it's also comparable to the Congo word vumbi or mavumbi. I probably butchered that.
I bet you did. I bet it's
Zombie.
pronounced like zombie
Vombi,
or zombie.
mavumbi, vumbi, mavumbi.
La 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 bombi.
Dun, 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 dun.
Maybe.
La la zombie.
Nah.
Damn it, that could have been the song.
La zombie. Nah.
Well, too late now.
Is it?
Yeah, because I'm not going to
Okay.
edit shit. We're just going to go start to end. And I'm just going to throw my things in there and put it out on the internet.
Do you edit shit?
I do sometimes.
Not very often.
Not very often, but I do. I make it all sound pretty, and I cut the front off, cut the end off, put the things on, and stick it out there.
That's why so many of Chris's fuck ups are in many episodes.
Yeah, I warn you. Like, I'm not going to go looking for them.
You know what? So be it.
Yep.
Whatever. So, next thing we look at is there's the early introduction to Western culture was the voodoo, quote unquote, voodoo type zombie in The Magical Island by W.B. Seabrook in 1929. An account of a narrator who encountered voodoo cults in Haiti. So, like Kyle was saying, that's 1929. You're looking at almost 100 years of zombies coming up,
Mhm.
like really quick.
They're making a comeback. Or wait,
Literally.
Then
Yeah.
what probably the most famous early introduction comes in 1932, White Zombie. Not the band, the movie that the band got the name from.
Yeah, we watched the movie, not listen to the band.
White Zombie, then Rob Zombie. Dig through the movies and look through the folklore. Folklore? God dang it, I screwed that up.
Yeah,
Folklore.
you did, but you know what? It
Son
could
of
have
a
been.
bitch.
You know what? Could have been good.
Could have been good. It was right there.
You could have been good.
I mean,
Ah,
starring
smash
Bella.
good.
You said, is it Lugosi? Lugosi? Probably Lugosi.
Bela Lugosi.
That movie was about a young woman's transformation into a zombie at the hands of an evil voodoo master. So that's our first zombie cinema.
Bela Lugosi, the master of horror
Mhm.
of his time, who played Dracula. I think he played Frankenstein, Wolfman,
Is he in
Phantom of the Opera,
what was that early Dracula movie?
Dead and Loving It,
No. No.
Vampire in Brooklyn,
Further back,
Once Bitten,
we had the long fingers.
Nosferatu.
Yes. Probably not.
I don't know if that was him or not. I think that Nosferatu was an Italian movie.
He sounds Italian, though. He's got a very Italian sounding name.
Ella.
Nosferatu was in 1922. No. Starring, man, these really sound like some porn names. The stars of Nosferatu. You got Max Schreck, Alexander Grenache, Gustav von Wangenheim. Like,
Okay.
how is that not a? Make sure I clicked on the right movie.
What's his name? Alexander von Dongenheimer.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Yeah, I clicked on the right movie. No. Nope. There's a Gustav. Anyway, sidetrack. But yeah, that's kind of your cinematic intro into zombies, and really not a whole lot until, if you want to go cinema, 1968, the mother of all zombie movies.
What is it, Kyle?
That would be George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead, which came out in 1968.
Which is a classic.
Classic.
By today's standards, not great effects.
No, but it's still fun to watch.
Well, I think it holds up. Like, just because it's the granddaddy.
Like, you're going to want to watch it. And what's cool was, partially inspired by 1954's novel I Am Legend. which got Will
Great.
Smithified a few years ago.
Yep. Smithified.
Mhm.
Here comes the zombies.
God dang it! I was trying to think of something Wild Wild West, and I got nothing.
Zombie. Zombie.
You tried.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, we got Night of the Living Dead based off I Am Legend, and
Which I didn't know that was inspired by I Am Legend.
I didn't either. Night of the Living Dead, and we'll really get into this here in a minute. Spawned 2 direct sequels, and this is what's going to throw a lot of people off. If you have a general knowledge of zombie movies, you're like, oh no, there's a shitload. No, only 2 direct sequels, according to Romero, that came off of Night of the Living Dead. That's Dawn of the Dead, which kind of wrapped up that little first wave of zombiness. It came out in 1978. And then Diary of the Dead, which came out, when did this come out? It was like mid 2000s, I believe. And so, according to Den of Geek, those were the only actual direct sequels. Now, there's Return of the Living Dead, there's Children of the Living Dead, there's all these other movies that we'll get into here in a minute.
Honestly, it's hard as hell to keep track of all of them.
And there's a handy dandy chart. And what we'll do, I'll put this chart out in the Discord. Actually, I'll put it out right now. For you people that,
Will you?
Yep. Totally unintentional segue here. For you people that have not joined the Discord, please do so. There's a link down in the show notes. If you're not familiar with Discord, it's cool. Just join it. You'll be happy below us. There's a lot of cool stuff that happens in there. A lot of cool conversation. I'm just going to drop this in movies and general discussion. Right, meow.
Right over meow.
And then you guys can see that chart and then argue with us.
Chove.
So you had Dawn of the Dead in 78, Michael Jackson's Thriller in 83. And then not a whole lot of mainstream zombie stuff. I mean, you had, through that rush of what would you say, like the B horror movies of the 80s.
B? They're not even B.
They could be.
Some are. Okay, so if it was on up all night, then it was probably a B.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was on after that like midnight showing when Rhonda Shear got off, it was probably like a C.
Was that up all night? Was that on? What was
It was
USA?
on USA. That was channel. It was 34.
What was his name?
It was Rhonda Shear was the girl with the big boob.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, and now I remember
it
her.
was up all night.
But there was also a cult movie showing with, what was that guy's name?
With Joe Bob Briggs?
Joe Bob.
Yeah, Monster Vision with Joe Bob.
Mm-hmm. I think if it showed up on there, then it also still is probably B movie. But so going back to that, the Night of the Living Dead follow-ups. So George A. Romero, his classic Night of the Living Dead has at least 28 sequels, remakes, and spinoffs, all bundled into this. And I kind of want to spend a minute going through this and seeing, like, there's only a few that I've actually watched. I have a lot of these. I haven't just sat down and watched a lot of them.
I haven't. I thought I've seen a lot. This chart shows me otherwise.
I thought I did too, because this isn't just, this isn't like all the zombie movies. This is just all the shit that spun off of Night of the Living Dead. Its direct sequel we talked about was Dawn of the Dead. And then we had Diary of the Dead, which came out. When did Diary of the Dead come out? I want to find out for sure, because that's one of my
Which one was
favorites.
Diary?
It was the found footage style. So it was.
Okay, that one.
Yeah, when it may have been a little bit late to the game, but when Diary of the Dead 2007. It's a little newer than I thought it was. I thought it was like 02. But Diary of the Dead was shot in that Blair Witch found footage style. They're a little bit late coming to that, but it's still like it's a really good, just a really good, solid zombie movie. It's not over the top. It's not cheesy. And that spawned a sequel, Survival of the Dead. And we come off to the right of the chart. We have Dawn of the Dead, which has a re-edit. Okay, we'll follow that because we have direct sequels, loose sequels, remakes, and re-edits. So you have the re-edit of Dawn of the Dead called Zombie, Zombi, which spawned 1, 2, 3,
Do you know why
4,
they
5,
called
6
it
sequels.
without an E? Some are without an E and some are with an I or with an E.
Do I know? No.
Yeah, you know. Because I know I've seen like in foreign languages, some of them call them like zombie with an I.
Well, it was. Let me see here if I can find out exactly why. That I really don't know. I'm sure there's a reason. It says it's a re-edit, but I thought it was a complete new movie. So, Dawn of the Dead. We're going off of Dana Geek here. Dario Argentino secured financing in exchange for international rights. He cut his cut of the film known as Zombie, Zombi, took out most of the character development and focused on the action, turning to something more of an Italian horror film. So he took the original footage, chopped it up, put it back together to fit the Italian market. And then that version is what spawned off Zombie 2, Zombie 3, Zombie 4, Zombie 5. Looks like there's some birds involved there. Absurd and anthro something I can't finish reading because it's kind of blurry.
I can't read it.
So that was the re-edit of Dawn of the Dead. Now, Dawn of the Dead had a direct sequel, Day of the Dead, which in turn had Land of the Dead.
Is that the one in the mall?
Day of the Dead is in the mall, I believe.
With the baby? With the zombie baby?
There's one where they became smart, or they showed intelligence.
That's the mall one.
That is the mall one.
Yeah, that was the one with the he was the
That's
janitor.
Dawn. That's Dawn of the Dead.
That's Dawn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And with the zombie baby, the first zombie baby.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead, which you then had the sequel of Day of the Dead. Okay. You had Day of the Dead's been remade. Dawn of the Dead has been remade once. Night of the Living Dead has been remade at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. You have 5 recuts. There's one that looks like that stars Sid Haig that I really want to watch. That came out like in 2008.
What is that? The one on the bottom there, the 3U?
Yeah.
Oh, it is Sid, isn't it?
Yep, I love Sid Haig. And then you have these, Night of the Living Dead had a re-edit into another version of Night of the Living Dead, which that version had a direct sequel, Children of the Living Dead, which was a loose sequel to Return of the Living Dead. Return of the Living Dead was also a loose sequel to both original Night of the Living. Yeah, so you can see this is like time travel to us.
Did you guys' heads hurt yet? Mine does.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you need to be looking at the chart, and then you got Return of the Living Dead, which is a little bit more comical, a little more light. I don't know if lighthearted is the word for it.
I don't know how you'd categorize that.
Yeah, but
I really don't.
It's a loose sequel to Night of the Living Dead. It started off like the writer pitched it as, tried to get into the series. It still got taken on by the studio, but it got reworked a little bit. And then that spawned 1, 2 direct sequels and then 2 more loose sequels following that. So there's it goes everywhere. Then we got some honorable mentions up here to the side. And so if you don't see the chart, you know what, I could probably pull it over here for the people on the YouTubes, but we'll just we'll link
We'll post it.
We can link the chart. We'll link the chart down below. That's also in the Discord if you guys want to see that. But that's just the Romero influence on zombie movies.
Well, then next, I will give Kyle mad props. I was busy as shit this week at work. Then I got my booster shot and decided to get a tetanus shot at the same time when they asked me because I'm stupid. So I've been down all weekend. Kyle did the entire show flow by himself. So bravo, sir.
Thank you. I like zombies, so
I love zombies. Just I didn't get a chance to do anything in this because real life calls, unfortunately.
it felt a little puny.
A little bit. Next thing you have is Max Brooks, Mel Brooks' son, famous Mel Brooks.
Yep.
What about Max Brooks?
So Max Brooks is the author of World War Z and the author of the Zombie Survival Guide.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah, I want to reverse the order here and talk about the Zombie Survival Guide first. That is one that I actually picked up. It looked funny. I saw in there, like I realized who Max Brooks was. I'm like, okay, this looks like this could be really, cool. And it is. It actually has some pretty decent real world out in the wilderness survival tips that I mean, you could use them. Like they're legit. Like this is shit that you could use out in the woods. But he spins in humor in that. It's just fun to read through. It actually has some good, useful information. He did that, and he also did World War Z,
which we'll talk about here in a minute, because World War Z was way different than any other zombie movie I've ever seen.
It was. You had fast zombies in the movie. Okay, we'll start with the book. The book was funny as hell. And what I thought was great about the humor in the book was it wasn't like in your face trying to be funny humor. It was just like humor of circumstance almost. Just like the events weren't meant to be funny, but damn it, they were funny. I think there was a part in the book when they finally figure out they're fighting against the zombies and they're like holding this front. And there's all these soldiers and fighters holding this front against this horde of zombies that's coming. And in the book, they're slow zombies. They're your traditional slow walking Romero zombies. And so they have this front of zombies coming at them, and they roll out these, I think it was trucks, like these speaker trucks, and they start blaring The Trooper by Iron Maiden as they're fighting. So, just like little things like that. Little one-liners in there that are just really funny. The movie, completely different, which typically happens. The movie is still good in itself. But the movie didn't introduce, but gave us a completely different type of zombie. Gave us the fast zombies that we see in some of the other movies. But the movie was also really good.
Which, if you saw the trailer, which I know you all have, it's the one where they're running like super, super fast and they're crawling on top of each other to go up to the top of the wall.
Yep.
They're smart, super fast zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kyle was saying, we typically have never seen that because they've always been the slow, flesh eating, brain eating.
Like if you saw them coming, you're not going to be like, they're coming to get you, Barbara. Like, shit, Barbara, run. They're coming. Look how fast that son of a bitch is. Yeah, they're
run, bitch, run.
Run, bitch. That's what you would get with those zombies. But, so you had the book that spawned the movie, which then spawned the video game. We'll talk about the game. We're going to get into games a little bit later too.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've hit the Romero zombie movies. We hit Max Brooks, the two of the big guys in the realm of zombie. We got one more good fella to get here in a minute, but I want to talk about the comedic zombie movies because these are some of my favorites.
So the first one we have is Shaun of the Dead, which is one of my absolute favorite movies of all time.
Mine too. Like it's way up there. Not just favorite zombie movies, just favorite
movies in general. Well, this is what introduced me to Simon Pegg.
Same, I think.
And Nick Frost, who are BFFs in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you look up the history of Shaun of the Dead, there's another group in there that the writer actually, it was another TV show he did. Or was that Nick Frost? I can't remember. It was, remember the girl that, and it was like there was their opposites when they met them.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were in another TV show that one of them wrote.
Did it tie into the movie itself, or was it just they were both in it?
They were just both in it, if I remember right.
So they're kind of part of that But you usually see that group of comedians that kind of stick together throughout movies.
Yeah. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, you get the Broken Lizard guys, or you get Sandler and Schneider and
Schneider.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was just a great movie. It wasn't your traditional zombie movie.
Mhm.
It was just, it turned into a zombie movie, but then it was just hilarious. Like, they go, oh my, remember the first zombie they see?
Mhm.
Wasted.
They're walking down the street and they're like, I can't remember if they were humming or one of them was beatboxing, and then the zombie was behind them, just like,
Yeah. And then
the
they
whole damn
started,
movie.
they
don't
started
remember if
throwing the vinyl.
I don't remember if I watched this and then watched Hot Fuzz. Like if this made me watch Hot Fuzz or Hot Fuzz made me watch this. It's one of the
This
two.
made me watch Hot Fuzz because I remember seeing this in the theater.
Hot Fuzz was a great follow up. We've got Juan of the Dead on here, which is also a comedic zombie movie, which I haven't watched yet.
I have not watched it.
And
Heard
then
good things about it.
arguably, the best comedic zombie movie. I mean, it and Shaun of the Dead, this movie and Shaun of the Dead go toe to toe. They're two totally different comedic styles. They stand on their own. I have a hard time picking one over the other, and it's Zombieland.
Yeah.
It
was different.
I'm throwing Zombieland in the comedic zombie movie genre because it's funny as hell. It is funny as hell. Like, it was one of the very first Blu-ray movies I think I ever bought. Great cast. Solid. I mean, you got Jesse Eisenberg, you got Emma Stone. Oh, Emma Stone. You got Woody Harrelson, Amber Heard, Bill Murray.
Has a thing for Emma.
Mm-hmm. You got Bill Murray, like one of the greatest movie cameos of all time. Bill Murray in this movie.
Oh, he was great.
I hope you guys have seen it. I don't. I'll spoil it for you. Whatever. When he turns into the zombie, when they thought he was a zombie and they shot him because he was dressing up like a zombie so he could like go into town and do things, and then still one of the best cameos ever. That's all I had for like the comedic zombie movies. I'm sure there's a couple more here and there, but that are probably not as good. These are the good ones.
I thought I remembered one, but I can't remember another one that's just hilarious. I'm sure it's going to kick me in the ass later and I'll remember it. Since we're still kind of on movies, there's another one I want to talk about real quick that was just more recent too. And that was the one that Netflix just released with Dave Bautista.
Yes. Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead. I loved that movie.
That movie was so well done.
And this kind of leads us into our next one too, because this was not your typical zombies, because these zombies, it introduced two aspects. Three things. 4.
7. 10.
7. 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
Zombie, you got problem me.
You got problem me. Zombie tigers.
Mm-hmm.
Super intelligent zombies who are organized.
Yeah.
Organized zombies. And robot zombies.
Yeah, robo zombies.
So it was just different, but it was fun. But it was a zombie movie.
It was a really good zombie movie. And
I liked it.
Something that we really didn't talk about through any of these, and I'll go ahead and hit it now. You have some of your zombie movies that are just straight up, there's zombies and we're going to fight them. But there's always it's the human element in all of these.
Yep.
We're about to talk about The Walking Dead. Actually, I don't know how I left that off the list. I just put it on there. But the good zombie movie, like the zombies are like a secondary character in these that are really good. Whether it's, trying to subtly tackle some social crisis or social, point, or exploring different elements of humanity, like what happens when the world goes to shit and how are people going to act. Like the zombies are almost always secondary to me in the really, really, really good movies. Another one that comes to mind is like 28 Days Later. The zombies were secondary. 28 weeks later, they're secondary. There's this whole story, I Am Legend. It's about they're they're just a threat that are out there. That's not always about trying to, find the cure and get away from it. I mean,
Right.
and that's kind of what was it? Army of the Dead
Yeah.
was that. And so that was such a good movie. I mean, they had me at Zombie Tigers. That's all they needed to get me to watch it. I'm a
So
simple man.
uh it was just a good movie all around.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, just thought of another one too. Was it I Love You, Beth Cooper?
Um,
With Aubrey Plaza in it. I'm looking it
there's
up real quick.
iZombie.
No, not Beth Cooper. It was Aubrey Plaza.
Movie or TV show?
It was a movie, and she played this, or maybe like Beth Turner, something like that. She played the girl, and like she's supposed to go on the date with this guy, and then everything they turn to zombies, and like to keep her from trying to bite him, he straps the stove to her back, and they're walking around, and she's carrying the stove on her back.
I don't remember.
Oh,
I don't think I've
was
ever
that
seen it.
called? Life After Beth.
Okay.
Okay, that was it. Life After Beth. It had a shit ton of people. Aubrey Plaza, Dane Dehan, Molly Shannon, John C. Riley, Cheryl Hines, Paul Reiser, Anna Kendrick. Yeah, it had a star-studded cast, and it was hilarious.
I'll tell you another TV show that kind of got overlooked a little bit. I mean, well, since we're on the TV show kick now, is Z Nation.
I've wanted to. It's been on my list. I haven't seen that though.
I've watched a little bit of it. There's some good characters in there, or some good actors in there. That you don't have your. Okay, I'm not going to say A-listers because you had a lot of your A-listers from The Walking Dead became A-listers because of The Walking Dead. That's how they became known.
That's how Shane became really well known.
Yeah, he had done a few things before that, but like to me, he was in it. Not even a full season,
Right.
or was it the second season? Anyway, but yeah, I didn't really know of anything before that. But every time I see him now, it's like, man, there's that dick. Even in The Punisher,
Yeah.
Dickhole. And dickhole, but Walking Dead, I think, gave us the zombies in prime time that some of these other shows are trying to catch. And I think they would have been okay without The Walking Dead. They would have got a little bit of exposure. They may not have even got made though. But The Walking Dead has been around a lot longer than the TV show itself.
This is the thing, when Kirkman wrote that shit, like what a lot of people don't realize is like Shane lasted longer on the TV show than he did in the comic.
Yeah.
Rick lasted longer on the show than he did in the comic. No one is safe with Kirkman's books. He kills off everyone. Just when you start getting to like these characters, like, wait a minute, he just got his ass eaten, literally.
I mean, you get pissed off at George R.R. Martin for killing stuff off. Kirkman, I think, has a higher body count.
Oh, way higher.
Yeah. And, that's something I think I've read the first 100 or 125 issues of The Walking Dead. And then I just got burnt out because it was all Walking Dead all the time for me. I was reading the comics. I was watching the shows. I started watching the spinoff. I think now there's another spinoff. Like, that's just so much, but we got some great characters. I do like that it didn't follow the comics page for page. There was a network that passed on the show. Let me look here real quick. I think it was HBO.
That would be about right, wouldn't it?
And okay, here we go. Who's all the networks that passed on The Walking Dead? ABC, NBC, Fox, FX, TNT, It originally landed on AMC.
AMC hit gold with that. They really did.
Go to it. If it would have landed on like HBO, could you
Imagine the budget.
well, the budget, and could you imagine Negan on an HBO Walking Dead?
Jesus.
Because the Negan in the comics, and if you guys have ever watched any of it, then you would know. But or if you've ever read or you've just heard it, that
Negan's evil. He's an evil
Negan's
fuck.
evil. And you've heard people say, well, Negan in the comics is better and blah, blah. He is. He's hamstringed on the show because of the things that they can and cannot say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, started on, AMC ordered the pilot. I wish I could see more of who passed on it. But
they really hamstringed him because so people were freaking out about the head bashing scene with Negan.
Which was twice as bad. I'm going to give it there on the show. That scene was twice as bad in the show than it was in the comic.
It was.
Because he whacked 2 people.
But the other thing is, in the comic, Negan goes way further.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the show doesn't even scratch what Negan is.
He is, when you think of a villain that you want to hate, but they're so charismatic and you're hanging on every word they say and you're laughing at some fucked up shit that they do and say, like Negan tops the list for me.
Negan was awful.
He's my favorite guy to hate because I kind of like him. Like occasionally he makes some good points and you're like, oh, whoops, never mind.
But then you're like, okay.
Yeah, like that. It was. I'm trying to think of a good way to describe him. Like he's
an evil fuck.
He's like the Alex Jones of comic villains. You're like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. Oh, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't at all. Like you went 17 steps too far, Negan. So when we get to Walking Dead, Z Nation, there was what were some other shows that kind of popped up? iZombie, Santa Clarita Diet.
Well, iZombie came because of the comic.
Yeah. But
the Santa Clarita Diet. Yeah, that one definitely popped up because of that direct. Which I only got through like the first 5 episodes.
I never watched it. I kind of got the gist of it in passing a couple times. Like, doesn't really seem like my thing.
Right.
Could be a great show. No, it could be a great show. It just wasn't my thing. iZombie was another one that I kind of wanted to watch. I saw some previews and stuff of it, and
they're watching first season, but
it didn't really look like it would be my thing. It may be if I actually watched it. There was another movie. I can't think of the name of it now. It's like not Cold. It was like a zombie love movie, like a zombie romance movie, or a romance movie disguised as a zombie movie.
A Zombrance?
A Zombrance?
Zombrance?
What was the name of that? Warm Bodies. There we go.
Oh, yeah, Warm Bodies.
I
forgot about that one.
Yep. Which wasn't a bad movie. It was good for what it was. It wasn't worth a rewatch for me, but it wasn't a bad movie.
I kind of liked it. It was different.
I heard the book was really good.
It was based off a book?
Yeah.
Oh. And that is, who's the main guy in that? That's Nicholas Hoult, isn't it? Beast in the X-Men movies?
I think so. If I can spell bodies right. Warm Bodies? Warm Bodies.
Oh, you know what else is a great one, which I didn't like at the time, but I love now? Idle Hands.
Oh, man, it's been so long since I watched that.
Yes,
I forgot
all
about it.
And then, wasn't it Fulton in there too?
In Idle Hands.
Yeah. He played the other.
God, that movie
friend.
so.
looking. And that's what introduced us to sexy Jessica Alba. Grrr.
We got Seth Green, Jessica
Yep.
Alba, Vivica A.
Eldon
Fox.
Henson. Eldon Henson, who was Fulton in Mighty Ducks, and also Foggy Nelson in Daredevil.
Fred Willard was in it. There's some good names. I forgot all about that movie. That was a good movie.
I loved Idle Hands.
It's a very Seth Green movie.
Oh,
Like
100%
Seth Green style
it is.
movie, yeah.
Okay. go
So
ahead.
we hit a lot. We could go on we could do 2 hours on The Walking Dead. We could do an hour, 2 hours just on zombie TV shows. We're trying to give you guys like some stuff to think about, some stuff to talk about, some stuff to correct us on. And we may be a little bit out of order. Probably should have talked about zombie types before, but we're going to talk about them now. You have a few. I don't know. When I was researching all this, the website I came across was like 83 types of zombies, and I'm like, no,
There's a couple
not-
archetypes.
we're not going to go. So we got like 4. Because I narrowed it down. I went through the list, and at about number 27, I stopped because they were just breaking down. There was like types of zombies, subtypes of zombies, subtypes to the subtypes of zombies, and all that stuff. And we're just like, we'll leave it. So you have your generic. So we just what we're going to call, and I think everybody can collectively agree on,
Geriatric zombies.
your geriatric zombies. They're really old.
Slow.
They're walkers with walkers.
Smell like mothballs. Because they're so slow, you can just literally go, God, you sting. Just go put the mothballs in their pockets, and then you don't have to run off. You just kind of saunter off.
They're all just wandering towards Costco together.
They go, weekend specials.
Coupons. Coupons.
Coupons.
See them all hanging out at like Red Robin.
They're going to Starbucks first thing
Early
in the
bird.
morning.
The
Early bird special.
They don't eat their breakfast brains until like 5 p.m. So
No, that's too late.
no, not for them. It's late for a regular dinner, but if you don't have breakfast at that late in the evening,
Oh, yeah, I guess that's
it's breakfast for dinner, but you got to have it by 5 at the latest because they're going to sleep around 8. Well, whenever zombie Matlock is over, that's when they're going to sleep.
Zombie Matlock takes, the reason it takes forever is because he can never figure out who died.
Ah, yeah.
He's like, who killed him?
Mm.
Describe to us in 2 words how you feel.
Too many words. You got it right. But it's either zombie Matlock or zombie CSI. Or CSI.
Or the Golden Girls.
Well, God, zombie Golden Girls would be great.
Slut Zombie Rose.
Uh-huh.
She's just mounting everyone and like pieces are falling off.
They're just hanging out, they're on their little couch in the living room, and then in the background noise you hear,
And then go,
Rose, keep it down. And she walks out, she's like, oh, okay, never mind.
and then we hear, oh, Ma. And then it's like, we see B. Arthur, and it's like,
Still sounds like B. Arthur.
yeah, she's not dead. I don't know how she survived. Everyone just thought she was dead.
Yeah, she's actually still alive and a zombie.
Oh, Fembot.
The only living zombie. I like me some B. Arthur, though.
I do too.
Mhm.
Okay,
So
next
then-
one.
So we've covered geriatric walkers now. The generic walkers, like what you see in, Night of the Living Dead, Walking Dead. You have runners, which are your World War Z zombies, your 28 Days Later zombies, video games, Left 4 Dead,
Back
Back
for
for
Blood.
World War Z, Fast Zombies.
Oh, or that fucking game we played last night.
Oh, Survive the Nights.
Yes.
There were some fast ones. Well, we were as fast as those zombies in that game. As long as we
But
kept
our
at a tempo.
stamina ran out.
Yeah, and theirs don't.
But I remember seeing 28 Days Later in the theater, and just it was so different from anything I'd ever seen because I'd never seen a fast zombie before.
I hadn't either, and I need to go back and rewatch it because I was pissed off the whole time. Like,
Yep.
they're not supposed to be that fast.
Well, and it wasn't a traditional zombie movie either.
No, and I was a younger nerd. I just couldn't appreciate it. I need to go back and rewatch it. And I think I'll like it better now that I can accept a fast zombie. I've come a long way, Chris.
You
I've
bless,
grown.
bless your soul.
Yeah. As a
Bless your
zombie.
little heart.
Bless your heart. As a zombie sympathizer, which is really hard to say, I've grown.
I was gonna make a joke, but it's probably not correct in this political climate.
There's a lot of things I was gonna make throughout this whole thing that I'm just avoiding. But anyway, smart zombies.
Smart zombies.
Some people call them the Romero zombies from like Dawn of the Dead. They're very similar to your generic walkers. Are slowish, but they have intelligence and they have the ability to learn and adapt. So, like in Day of the Dead, you have one using a toothbrush and a razor. In Army of the Dead, they had developed this whole hierarchy of zombies. You had your dumbass zombies still, your little grunt zombies, but then you had, like the chief guy, whatever he was, and his zombie bride who was having a zombie baby. That was something we left out. Them zombies were banging.
Yeah, because there was because in what was it, Army of the Dead, the mall one? That was
Dawn of the
because
Dead
she
was
got
the mall one.
because she got bit by a zombie while she's pregnant, and that's what made the zombie a zombie baby. Because she turned into a zombie, not because zombies were banging.
Well, Army of the Dead, though, I thought they were making more zombies.
No, remember like when they're in the mall and the pregnant lady, was that Elizabeth Pena? I don't remember.
That's Dawn of the Dead.
Is it
Oh.
Dawn?
Army of the Dead. Were the zombies banging?
Be careful what you click on.
Robot zombies. Hold on. That was
No, maybe it wasn't Army. It was
Army was the Dave Bautista one.
okay, not the Dave Bautista one, the other one then. Dawn of the Dead. The mall one.
Yeah, that's the one that she was pregnant and got bit.
That's what it was. Yeah, they weren't banging like they were an Army of the Dead. See, it's hard to keep track of all these, so fuck you all.
Screen Rant talks about it a little bit. How was the zombie queen pregnant? That's a lot to read.
I want to know because unless the zombie king got rigor mortis while he was excited, technically there's no blood to flow down onto his wiener.
So Zack
or
Snyder-
his wiener.
Okay, so she was already pregnant, supposedly. So that's
And he
when,
killed her?
because the security officer was named Bert Cummings. Wait for it. According to what Screen Rant has on that the zombie queen was already pregnant when Cummings was taken. So I guess that means she couldn't have got pregnanter. Anyway.
Coming or going?
Somebody did.
Wah, wah.
Mhm. Brains.
Or boobs.
So this zombie type is going to be debatable by some. I'm leaving it in there. And they're really only found in like kind of one facet of pop culture, and that's gonna be like the ghoul zombies that you see in Fallout. They're called ghouls. You have the feral ghouls that are 100% just a zombie, but they're zombified from radiation, not from a virus or a voodoo witch doctor or anything, like that.
Else.
Some of them are highly intelligent, like retain their original intelligence. They just don't die. They're still the same version of themselves when the nukes hit in like whatever it was, 1940 something in the Fallout universe, and several hundreds of years later. And then your feral ones are more like your typical walker kill you type zombies.
Right.
But they're 100% a zombie. They're just not a reanimated, but they have all the characteristics besides, I guess you would say, the reanimation. They never actually died.
Which is, it's an interesting take.
Now we get to some of the fun stuff. I mean, this is all fun, but I think we're going to have fun with this list debating.
Zombies and video games.
I didn't put these in any particular order.
So let's start off with what to me was okay. I'm going to go before Resident Evil. I'm going to
Okay.
insert one, which was the one that I had behind me, Stubbs the Zombie.
Okay.
That was on the Super Nintendo.
Stubbs was?
I believe so. Or was it N64? Hold on.
Well, it's not behind you anymore. Me and you are behind you.
Yeah, but what I had originally.
Is it that old? Was he in?
I seem to recall. Yeah, Super Nintendo. I recall it. Yeah. And then before that, you had some Nintendo games with zombies in it too.
What I leave out? What do you got?
I'm trying to remember what.
I think there were zombies in the Addams Family game, possibly.
I think so.
We had Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which was a
Oh yeah.
Nintendo or Super Nintendo. Don't necessarily remember which one. I think
Zombies Ate My Neighbors was 93
Okay,
for the Super Nintendo.
that's going to predate Resident Evil a little bit. Doesn't predate Sweet Home. I think it's about the same time as Sweet Home, which became Resident Evil. We talked about that previously in our episode about scary video games.
Right.
But I would say Resident Evil really brought the zombie genre to the video game forefront.
Made it popular.
And we had Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which is a little bit more lighthearted and fun. Like I said, these are in no release order, so if we go down the list, these are going to be all scrambled up. Just going to talk about them. One of your favorites on the list after Zombies Ate My Neighbors, and we talked about it a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Left 4 Dead. Tell me why you love that game so much. I've never asked you. I just know that you absolutely love it.
I don't know why. It's just fun. I like the team aspect of it. It's fun to play with your friends. It's fun to play because this is the first game where you got to be the infected that I knew of.
Mm-hmm.
So where you were trying to go you had 4 survivors, each with their own personalities, and then you had 4 infected. The different classes. You had like the boomer, you had the spitter, you have the smoker, you got the tank. You got all those different ones, and it's just fun because you get to be any one of those, and you have to use teamwork to try and really figure it out. And you've always wanted to be like in a zombie movie.
Mm-hmm.
When you watch those, like I could do that, then you actually get a chance to do it, and you have to use teamwork to do it. So it's just fun, and it's just got high replayability for me. I just love the damn game.
Did you originally play it on Xbox?
No, I originally played it on computer.
Okay. I know a lot of people that are somewhat critical of Back 4 Blood, and we'll go ahead and just talk about Back 4 Blood right after this because it makes sense. Some of them are critical of it because of the lack of couch co-op support for it, and that's what they loved about the original Left 4 Dead series. That's what's making me think. Okay, they came from those people that are complaining came from Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
For sitting on their couch and getting to play that game split screen with a friend, which is fun. That's something that's gone away that I really hate. Couch co-op is not like what it used to be. It's so hard.
Well, because there's not a lot of couch co-op anymore anyway.
There's not. It's all online.
It's like LAN parties. There's no LAN parties anymore. Like World of Warcraft on South Park, you don't see that anymore.
No.
I take that back. Props did tell us he had a 4-day gaming session with his buddy from work.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep. And so that would be fun. But we're just getting older, and that's part of it. But
yeah,
you just don't see that as much anymore. So that's probably where they're missing that nostalgia on it. I think Back 4 Blood, after playing as much Left 4 Dead as I did with you, or you played Left 4 Dead 2. Back 4 Blood was a really good evolution of that game. It kept the soul of Left 4 Dead. That same 4-player zombie shoot 'em up, and it added some interesting elements. It added, your different characters, you just weren't picking them because you liked them. Like there's some strategery that goes in there because they have special abilities. You have the deck building aspect of it, which is cool. Which
Excuse me?
The you got to build your deck up. You got to have a nice,
Humph!
solid, girthy deck to play on.
You really do. And if that deck is just limp and flaccid, you're not going anywhere.
No. And it's just, I think it was a good evolution of it.
I think so too.
It's really fun. I mean, I highly recommend it. World War Z is still in that same vein. When we're talking about these games, I'm just gonna call it what it is. It's a Left 4 Dead clone.
hmm
I think it kind of falls in between Left 4 Dead 2 and Back 4 Blood.
Right. Except their horde mode is different.
Their horde mode is different. It improves on your Left 4 Dead 2 a little bit, but it doesn't give the full improvement that you got in Back 4 Blood. You have some, if I remember right, there was some of the placing of barricades and things like that, which
Right.
is more now in Back 4 Blood, and I think done a little bit better. I'd like to see a little bit more of the fortification that we got in World War Z, where there's actually spots that you could fortify.
I bet there is horde mode, which we haven't tried yet. We're just trying to get through the game.
Oh yeah, but Back 4 Blood does give you that because of the deck building, the replayability has purpose other than just playing it over and over again. Because you play through, you get your cards, you restack your deck. You play through the different set of characters, different playthroughs every time because it randomizes. So it's good. Something that I almost forgot to put on this list was the Call of Duty Zombies series.
Oh yeah.
I've got it on there. And that's just dumb fun. At first, on the surface, it seems like dumb fun. But there's like a whole story through all these iterations of the zombies that I didn't realize until a couple of years ago because
They keep getting better.
They keep getting better. It's just so, for me, I'm not very good at it. I can get, 30, 35 rounds deep.
I suck.
But you have to get really deep and you have to really have a good strategy. And I'm focusing so much on just killing everything and not dying. I miss so much of this. There's a lot of backstory to all this. It's the occult side of all the Call of Duty stuff that you're facing. Then you have Killing Floor, which to me is a refined version of, it's just like a standalone Call of Duty Zombies. There's a lot of, it's very similar to me.
Yeah.
You get the co-op. A really cool game that added on here. I don't know if you ever played it. Did you ever have a Wii U?
I did not. I only had a Wii.
Oh, you only had a Wii?
In
In my Wii.
In my Wii. No, I only had a Wii.
So I had a Wii U.
I missed the Wii U.
I have a Wii U somewhere, but I don't know where the gamepad is. This is the only zombie game that I knew of that came out on the Wii U. It was called Zombi, Zombiu. Now you can play Zombie, the same game on other systems now. They re-released it. It's on Switch. And I don't know if it would work on Switch. Like, what was so cool about this game to me, because if you remember your Wii U, you had the gamepad with the screen on it.
Right.
That you can remote play. Well, that worked as a second screen on this game itself. That was your inventory. Your inventory, you could always look down at your gamepad and you could organize your inventory. You could do things. You turned your flashlight on from there, like from the touchpad side of it. You use that touchpad and that screen at the same time as the game. So moving your inventory around, it was so cool.
Okay, I remember seeing this cover with the one of the royal guards from the palace on there. I remember seeing that now.
And it had a kind of a roguelike approach to it, to where you play through as a character. If you died, you started over as somebody random, another random character. You could go and you could find your stuff that you dropped, and usually those same zombies would be there. You could recover your stuff, but you're always playing as someone different. Now, the next one we have on the list is one that I think you can talk about pretty good, which is State of Decay.
State of Decay. State of Decay is a fun, stupid little series because it's just story driven. When I mean story driven, it's mission driven. So you go and, apocalyptic future. I want to say it's a Microsoft product, and you can recruit other survivors. You've got hunger, and what was unique about this one to me is one of the first ones where you had to build a community, but in the community you had to build beds, you had to build places to grow stuff for medicine and food, water, toiletry needs, like all that stuff. You had to do all of that. And then State of Decay 2 came out, which was just super fun. Kyle and I were actually playing that not too long ago. And it just all similar. It's just a lot of fun. Then they added a horde mode to it, which is hard as hell.
Mhm.
Yeah, State of Decay it's just a lot of fun, and it's still going strong right now.
Another big one that you either love it or you hate it. I don't think there's very many people that are just like meh on this game is DayZ. DayZ's
Is that the role playing one you do?
well, I played a role play server on there because it was heavily modified
Gotcha.
server. Just the base game itself. This is one of the granddaddies of the survival game genre.
I didn't know that.
I would say I would call it that. Started off as a mod for Arma 2, I believe. Then that mod, the DayZ mod, spurred some different mods, which eventually became PUBG. Off of that, if you trace it all the way back. But DayZ has spawned a lot of different clones. I think that really kind of kicked off the zombie survival horror genre of games where you have to find food and you have to kind of scrape around to survive, and you really had that feeling of post-apocalyptic survival without really any direction provided to you by the game. Is open world, you do what you want, run into other players, befriend them, kill them. Usually it's what happens, you kill them. But DayZ, I think without DayZ we wouldn't have had 7 Days to Die, we wouldn't have Survive the Night. We wouldn't have Miscreated. We wouldn't have. There's all these zombie survival horror style games. And DayZ probably still does it better than most. It's just buggy as hell and doesn't do it great. But it's a fun game. It's just one of those games where you can hop into a server with 100 different people with your buddies, and you can go and you can have a good time.
Next one Kyle put on this list is Plants vs. Zombies.
Mhm.
Which I adore this series. It started off with the original Plants vs. Zombies, which was a tower defense style game.
Yep.
We had to place the plants, stop the incoming hordes. I played the shit out of that. I remember how much fun that was. That was PopCat Games, and that was originally a Flash game. For like the longest time till they made it this other, full-fledged game. But then it's spawned like Plants vs. Zombies 2, Plants vs. Zombies, there goes the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But you got the different types like the imp, the disco zombie, the superhero zombie, the plants. It's super fun. I really, really love that game.
Yep.
It's just fun. It's stupid fun.
I may be able to have an opinion on this game. Just 1 second here.
Okay. So I'll keep talking. So I don't know. It's just corny. I haven't been able to introduce that one to my kids because it's not too scary. And I've
got a professional opinion on this game. Hold on here.
Oh.
Tell Mr. Chris here how much you like Plants vs. Zombies.
All I see is an ice cream cone.
Yeah. You like them?
Yeah, I like the game.
A lot?
Yes.
Okay.
I play a lot.
It's like one of your favorite games?
Yes.
Who's your favorite?
Who's your favorite?
The zombies or the plants?
The zombies or the plants?
I like the song.
Kind of like the zombies?
Which zombie?
Which zombie?
Little man, you better have the right answer.
The what zombie?
The football zombie.
The football zombies?
I don't know about that. Maybe no more shrimp chips for you. We got to use the engineering zombie because he rides around and shows his butt crack.
Yeah. All right. Just pop by for a second. So I figured, like, this is a good time because I know he's been playing that.
Oh, okay, good. No, that's what my youngest has been playing too.
Oh, well, they can probably talk about that then.
Actually, they'll probably talk about everything but that.
So our next one on the list, this is one that's on my list to play. I really
I've
want
never
to
even
try.
heard of that one. Is it on
Um,
Steam?
It's on Steam. It's called They Are Billions. It plays like a real time. I mean, it is a real time strategy game. It's RTS style game. So you think your old Command and Conquer and stuff like
Those
that.
are my favorite.
So it plays like that with zombies. So you got a little bit of tower defense type stuff because you get the hordes, that should be coming at you. But the setting of the game looks really cool. It's steampunk themed. So that's that little twist on it.
And it's called They Are Billions.
They Are Billions, yeah. Yeah, take a look.
Okay, that looks pretty awesome.
It looks really fun. I know you like RTS games. You like
Oh, I
Command and
love
Conquer
RTS
and
games.
that type of stuff, which all those remastered ones are on Game Pass right now.
This one's a fairly new one. It's only a couple years old.
Yeah, it's only a couple years old. It looks fun. I don't think it's super expensive. I may give it a run.
It's $26.99 right now for a weekend deal.
That's not bad.
That means
But it looks cool.
Is it
Looks like
multiplayer?
it might be. I haven't looked too far into it. I just remember seeing some screenshots of it, and I thought it looked pretty cool. Let me open up my Steam. We'll tell you real quick. Steam for the steampunk.
Okay, this guy referenced Dune, which Emperor Dune, which was one of my favorite RTS games ever.
Okay.
I might have to give this a shot.
It looks cool. It's it's got a little bit of a Mad Max feel to it, the way he's standing on that balcony.
I like it. I'm gonna give it a shot. Damn yous, I
worth
didn't need to be buying anything.
It's single player only though.
That
It
kinda
does
sucks.
support remote play on your tablet though. Ooh.
Or when I get that new Steam, whatchamacallit.
Your Steam Deck.
Excuse me?
Yeah, your Steam Deck.
My hot steamy deck.
Mhm.
Ladies.
But it looks cool. One that kind of flew under the radar a little bit, and I remember playing this several years. I might still have it on my PS3. Was Dead Nation. So if you've ever played any dual stick shooters, you know what I'm talking about. Left stick to move, right stick to shoot.
Yep.
This was a fun one, and I picked it up and played it because there was a big PlayStation Network outage in 2011, and this game was given away as a freebie. You're like, oops, we screwed up. Hear from your friends at Sony is Dead Nation. Enjoy,
And you did.
I did. It was fun. Next up was Days Gone, which I never touched. I wanted to. It looked really cool. I think it was a PlayStation exclusive.
Isn't it on?
Is it out
Steam
now
now?
on?
I think it is because I remember seeing it. Days Gone, right?
Yep. Okay. It's on PC.
Yeah. Because
Now.
Amazon keeps offering free stuff in game for it.
Well, it just came out on PC in May, so it
Oh,
was.
did it really?
Yeah.
And it's a zombie one.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it multiplayer?
No.
Is it open world? So it's only single player.
Single player, open world, story driven.
But it's
Very
open.
looks
but
like
you
it
can't
should
play
play.
with other people.
No.
That sucks.
But it looks like it should play very similar to the last game I have on this list. So I want to get to this one here first and hear your thoughts on it. Then we'll get to the last game, and then we'll wrap up all our games. Dead Space. Zombie game or not zombie game?
I think it's a zombie game. I'm almost okay. Alien zombies.
Mhm.
Still a zombie.
Still a zombie.
It's a
There's
zombie game.
humans, corpses that are reanimated.
And they're zombies, and then they turn into demons. But
Yeah. I
but
mean,
I
like how it was
still think
described as human corpses reanimated by Lovecraftian space magic. Like that's pretty much what it. When you really think about it.
that's what I told my last date.
Yep.
I'm magical.
Lovecraftian
Lovecraftian
space magic has reanimated the.
I'm like, Who
Dead
wants
Space
to
down here.
who wants to sleep with me?
But a great series to pick up if you guys have never played it. I highly recommend it. I can't get it to work on Game Pass
Which is weird.
for PC. Yeah, there's really weird graphical errors because I wanted to play through the whole series. I just wanted to do a thing on stream like that. I was going to go through the whole thing. Because I
You
don't
just
think I
couldn't.
ever beat 3. I know I've done 1 and 2, but I don't think I ever beat 3.
It's a great series. It really is. Like, I love it. And it's one of the few series that actually seriously scared me.
That game's scary as hell.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm okay with jump scares. Jump scares are fine. They have their place as long as they're not overdone. The jump scares in this game were really well done because it was a combination of spooky atmosphere plus jump scare that worked really well.
Okay. Speaking along this lines, then, on games that blur the lines of what would be a zombie game,
Okay.
would you consider? I just fucking lost it.
Let me see if I have that in my library. I just lost it.
It's on sale for
now.
$1.
Yeah. They pay
Um,
you to take that game.
Shit, what was it? Because it was along the lines of Dead Space. Would you consider this a zombie game? It'll come to me at the end of the episode. Watch. Go on.
Well, and there's several that we didn't talk about. I mean, there's Dying Light, Dead
Silent
Island,
Hill.
Silent Hill.
That's one that kind of blurs the lines because there is like zombies, but then there's like the demon nurses and Pyramid Head.
I would call it a game with zombie-like creatures in it, but I would not call it a zombie game.
Zombie game. Okay.
Yep.
I'm with you.
Which some of these are that, but we'll back up. I skipped way ahead. I skipped over Dead Island and Dying Light. Both came out around the same time.
Oh, yeah. Dead Island was fantastic.
Dead Island's so much fun. It has some really, has some good humor in it. But still a fun, quote unquote, open world zombie game. You still had to progress through different, like you couldn't just take off and explore everywhere. You had to bypass roadblocks and things. And Dying Light was really cool because of the parkour system in it. Different way to traverse a map, crossing the rooftops and jumping and climbing and doing all these cool things.
Dying Light was fun.
Dying Light was fun. I think there's
I never played 2.
The sequel just recently came out, right?
2? No, 2's been out for a while.
There's another Dying Light I thought that was on its way. Well, they did an enhanced edition. Dying Light 2 Stay Human. No, Dying Light 2 just came out in February.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
What was I thinking of?
I'm not sure.
I don't know either.
Yeah, Dying Light 2 is fairly new.
I don't know what I was thinking about then.
That one is online co-op, so could be a cool story.
That's only 2
Oh, hold
player,
on.
though, isn't it?
It's not out yet. Coming out February 2022.
Oh, it got pushed back.
You got pushed back.
Like everything else.
Yeah.
Fuck you, COVID.
Yeah, all these fun games we haven't got to play yet. So to wrap up our zombie game thing that's taken up half of our episode,
Ah,
The Last of Us.
which I haven't played, but I have watched hour and hour and hour of video.
It is so hard to make the zombie genre fresh in whatever you're doing. Books, movies, video games especially, because it just seems like there's only so many ways that you could really take a zombie game if you're trying to do the actual survival horror style. I mean, you got, Zombies Ate My Neighbors and They Are Billions and stuff, and that's a different take on it. But to do the first person, third person, adventure, action, survival type game, there's not a lot of different ways that you can take it, and you're still facing zombies. And The Last of Us did something really cool by totally changing up how we had zombies and the type of zombies we were.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to say those aren't zombies. Fuck, they're not. Those are zombies.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
They're vegan zombies. They're plant-based, but
They're zombies.
they're zombies.
Well, and you've also got to remember, too, that it was so popular.
Mhm.
It spawned, the second one just came out, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then-
I've only played the first one. There was one in between too.
Now they're doing a TV show of it. Because
That
it's just
game-
so different.
If you ever played the game, or if you just you watched playthrough, so you watch beginning to end,
Mhm.
probably.
Right.
The first 10 minutes of the game, there's some gut wrenching, pull on your heartstrings scenes in video games. They had the end of Red Dead Redemption, the first one, or towards the end of it, is one that stands out in my mind. But you got to wait till the end of the game to get to that. Last of Us, your first 10 minutes or so, the scene with his kid,
Oh yeah.
if that made me, I'm like, I almost dropped my damn controller because I was not expecting that. I didn't expect to get kicked in the nuts so early in a
It's
game.
such a great. It really is.
And that had me hooked from that point on. Like that game fried my PS3. I lost a PlayStation to that game because it came out late in the system's life cycle.
Right.
You know, it really should have just been a PS4 game.
You think so?
Oh yeah, yeah, because it struggled on the PS3. It ran, but it struggled. And by that time, you know, if you had a PlayStation 3 that you had for a while and you didn't know how to maintain it, like I didn't at the time, it was a little dusty, anything like that, it sounded like a freaking Boeing 747 getting ready to take off, the fan spinning up, trying to keep up. Because it worked that system so hard.
You just couldn't do it.
But just a great, great, great game.
Like I said, I've never played it, but I've watched video after video after video of it, and just like the boss battles were insane.
Mhm.
It just looked hard as hell.
It
Uh.
was a fun game. Stealth was a big part of it. There was really interesting ways that you could approach situations. It was really, really fun. It was one of the last single player type games like that I really enjoyed because I'm more into multiplayer stuff now. I'm getting back to single player again.
But I still want to see. I want to watch. I haven't watched any gameplay on the new one yet.
Well, they should be coming to.
I bet it's on Twitch.
Well, I mean, they should be coming to PC
Oh yes, soon.
because there's a lot of Sony exclusives that are starting to come. Like, should be coming soon. Last of Us we haven't got yet, but there's God of War supposedly coming now, or it is coming. So a lot of these Sony exclusives we'll end up getting. But
I think it looks good.
yeah, that's our zombie games. And there's some that we've missed. There's just so many, but these were the highlights, the ones that really stood out to me that for the most part I've played or Chris has played or we're interested in playing. And if you guys have played any of these, let us know. You got any recommendations on the ones that we haven't touched, like They Are Billions, or that's probably the only, Zombies Ate My Neighbor. My kid plays it, but that's probably about the only one I haven't played myself.
That's a fun game. Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Yep.
I like it. So it's, again, bravo to you, sir. I love zombie stuff, and Kyle worked really hard at this, and I know this is a labor of love for him. So bravo.
Thank you. It was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I said, join the Discord, join the conversation. Let us know what we got right, what we didn't get right.
As
Recommendations.
you'll find out that there's certain people in the Discord have no trouble pointing out when we're wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Chove.
Justin. B. Rob.
So, what are you reading or watching this week, Chris?
I just got done watching Dune. I enjoyed it a lot. It's supposed to be a 3-parter. They promised HBO,
Mhm.
Warner Brothers promised the director that 2 and 3 would be fully funded. So this is only part 1. It was 2.5 hours. It was supposed to have been. So the first and second movie are going to be just the first book. The second one, I think, is Children of Dune. But so it kind of left you with a sour taste in your mouth if you're like a completionist and want to see the end.
Yeah.
But if you know that going to it, that's going to be a 2-parter, you're okay with it. Acting was good. The visuals are great. It was really fun.
I'm interested in I'll probably watch it pretty soon.
Better before it goes away.
My only exposure to Dune is the last movie that was released. How many years ago?
Which one? The one that was on Sci-Fi?
Yeah. And I
But
don't
there was
know.
another one after that. Children of Dune, I think.
Yeah, I think I just watched the sci-fi one, and I don't think I even totally finished it. I haven't read the books, so
The books, I haven't gotten through the books because they're hard. It's a hard read, dude.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
It's a really hard read. What are you watching or reading this week?
So, I have been watching with the kids A Tale Dark and Grim on Netflix,
Which looks great.
which looks really good. The way what I understand from it, and I may be completely wrong. Well, this is what I thought from the first episode, was it was more of an accurate telling of the Brothers Grimm quote unquote fairy tales before they get all, Disney-fied. It's a second iteration of me saying something fied. But really cool. It's fun. It's TVY7. It's just okay for the little kids. There's some darker stuff in it, but it's done with some levity where it's, palatable for the little kids. Not that bad. But basically it's following Hansel and Gretel through all these, grim tales. And so it's been pretty cool. And so I've enjoyed that. And we watched the new Addams Family movie today. The kids
What'd you
watched
think
it. I
of it?
fell asleep halfway through.
Was it not that good, or you just didn't feel good?
I was just tired. I was really tired. It was okay. It was about what you would expect. It's no Hotel Transylvania 2. Tell you that.
Hey, I did like the first Addams Family movie, though.
But it was okay. It was okay for what it was.
You'll take it,
We could easily make a drinking game out of that
really.
movie for every time Gomez says Caramilla. Just over says it to me. But whatever.
Whatever. Learn anything good this week, or eh?
Nothing really. It was pretty chill week. Can't think of anything that just straight up memorable life lesson this week.
I learned you probably shouldn't get your COVID booster and a tetanus shot on the same day.
I could have told you that.
But you know what? I was there. I'm finally getting movement back in my arms. And I'm finally feeling a little human. So, you know what? That's my advice to y'all. Don't do it.
It's solid advice.
I mean, do it, but don't.
Yeah,
maybe
don't
not the
do
same
it at
day.
the same time.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, other than that, I mean, do you have anything else you want to leave anyone with on zombies? You love zombies. I love
Yes.
zombies.
We could have done like everything that we covered, and we could have done a full episode over TV shows. We could have done multiple episodes over movies. We could have done a full episode just over Night of the Living Dead if we wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
We could have done a full episode over the games. There's a lot of stuff we weren't to try to keep this within a decent length episode where you guys can plow through the whole thing. We didn't get to go in deep detail, and I'm sure we missed some details on some stuff that people are extremely passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
So just letting you guys know that's not our intention. It's done for the sake of time. But if there's anything that we covered or that we missed that you guys would like us to hey, dive deep into this, we want to hear more about it, or we want to talk about it or whatever, let us know because we'll do it. We're always looking for something to do. So
if you could leave them with one book or one movie to read, someone who wants to read more about zombies or watch more about zombies,
ooh,
what would you tell someone? One.
I'm going to go with reading. And God, it's a toss up. I think if you want just a good start and finish story that you can wrap up and really enjoy, and it's got some humor in it, it would be the World War Z novel. Great book. I want to go back and reread it again. I think I've read it 2 or 3 times already. I'd like to go back and read it again. I'm cheating on your rules here. If you want just gory, over the top action, pick up the first compendium of The Walking Dead. Even if you've watched the show,
it's nothing.
Go
It's
grab
not
that
weird to
that first compendium. You're gonna pay like $40 for it, maybe.
It is in black and white.
It's black and white graphic
that's-
novel.
The reason it's in black and white is so that they could get it through the censors.
Really?
Yeah, that
Is
was
it
one of the
blood?
reasons.
I didn't know
Think
that.
about how bloody it would have been.
They would have had their budget on red alone through the roof.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, there was other reasons, but that's another.
It's a
factor
cool
he put in
aesthetic
there.
choice for it. It looks cool.
Yeah.
That black and white grayscale stuff, whatever. It looks awesome. I would say you just want action and something that you can spend a lot of time on and reading through, and go the Walking Dead comic series.
Yep.
And lose several months of your life reading that.
I agree with that, sir.
Mhm.
Well, with that, this has been Everyman's Guide to Nerddom. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle. And wherever you guys are, have a great evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is. And please be good to each other.
See ya.
Nerd
See ya.
Coke, rise up. It could get elevated. Nerd Coke, rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore used to be just a made up word. MCs shied away from